Solar maximus. What is it? Let's talk about it. So I want to share something with you guys that I somehow pieced together through my curiosity as a Gemini. Solar flare maximus happened and is happening right now from 2019 to 2030. Solar maximus just means when the sun is at its ultimate potency of ejection, meaning it's ejecting a lot of solar energy in its orbit, and we are its main attack kind of deal. Like, the sun follows a system, right? And so when it's blasting these solar flares, it's going to hit the planets, and then it's going to get solar wind into our planet, into our atmosphere, and this is what we're feeling. This is the awakening process. It's the excess solar energy in our atmosphere that is causing us to reflect, repress memories. The unconscious is becoming made known, meaning any negative characteristic that you carry is starting to bubble up to the surface, and you are seeing it through people, places, and things. You are seeing yourself as a mirror. That is judgment. That's how we learn. That is Judgment Day. Last time solar maximus happened was in the 1700s. In 1755, that's when we experienced the last solar maximus. In 1756, the Illuminati was formed in America. In 2019, when solar flare maximus was started and the government officials could see that, oh shit, the sun's getting really active, we're now going back into the solar flare maximus. They launched COVID-19 in 2020 because they knew that mankind was about to go through the biggest leap of consciousness, so they had to create a separation even further to keep us bounded into the matrix by giving us vaccines that give us autoimmune repression. Separating us from our families, from our jobs, creating more addictions within people's lives, creating more disharmony within the relationships because it triggered a lot of depression. But it also triggered us to appreciate nature more, to appreciate realness more. Even though since COVID, a lot of us have now just are glued to our phones, we're glued to more superficiality because we think that if we're more superficial, then we are more abundant and we are more happy. It's just a programming, right? If you are repressed from, being able to expose yourself in public, like when COVID happened, then you're going to want to seek it more once it's gone, right? There's a polarity in everything. And as a society, we're not balanced. So whatever the negative spectrum of the polarity is, we're going to fall further into it. Now, back in the 1700s, well, they knew, they had astrologers then. They could see that there was the sun was making explosives, right? And the cult system has known since the dawning of time that the sun is consciousness. The sun is Christos, is Christ. It's Christ energy. So that's why they formed the Illuminati. As soon as the last solar flares happened to this level, to solar maximus, they launched the Illuminati in the West because they knew that their time was coming to an end. What we lack to understand is that there is an energetic war going on for our humanness. So if the Illuminati was triggered by the last solar eclipse or solar maximus, then no shit, that 2019 was when our solar maximus began again. And it's from 2019 to 2030. Well, what's the 2030 agenda? Imperialism. It's all connected, homies. So I found that, like, it just dawned on me today that the Illuminati was formed the year after Solar Maximus happened. The last time Solar Maximus happened was in the 1700s. 1755, Solar Maximus began. It's our only known record because our technology was sufficient enough for the capability of human awareness. Like, okay, there's an elite system, right? It's an occult system. Yes, they know everything, but they can only breadcrumb to the governments. They can only breadcrumb to society to keep control of the masses. So they formed the Illuminati a year after they seen that the solar maximus has begun. The sun was at its peak activity. 2019, everything was normal. Boom, solar maximus peaked up. Boom, COVID-19. And how interesting, COVID-19. COVID. So COVID-19, coronavirus 19. Well, how interesting. Corona means crown. Crown. The crown of God is coming. So let's start an autoimmune disease to bring down the masses even more, to feel even more entrapment through their lack of ability to live, and then up the food prices so we can't buy nutritional food. You know what I mean? And from 2019 to 2030 agenda. 11, so that's 11 years. 11 is new beginnings, intuition, manifestation. Corona means crown, because the crown of God was coming. The crown of God is here. You know, like, and people are so fear-based within their religions. Oh, you got to be love and light. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, blah, 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 blah. That's why you got to find thyself. When I answered the calling of who I am, who I felt I was led through blind faith, through trust in my awareness to how I feel in connection to Source, the Most High, the Mother. So what does this mean? All this means is that it's very interesting how the Illuminati was formed as soon as the last solar maximus launched. This solar maximus, boom, COVID-19. I want you to take this information and see how your life has changed since COVID. What limited beliefs have bubbled up because of the isolation or because of the lower qualities of humanity that was birthed. You know, like before we kind of had balance. Like we were just enjoying the matrix, right? I know I was always spiritual, but I wasn't this. Hello. Man. So, you know, and for me, COVID-19, like it, since COVID, my life has transformed. You know, I went into isolation. I had that vaccine. Ever since I've had that vaccine, you know, like, fuck, man. There has to be a way to override it. I think if we just all ate clean, loved each other, trusted each other, man, we'd be so abundant. And so, yeah, the 2030 agenda. So so if you aren't handling this energy right now, it's not going anywhere till 2030. And that's God giving us the opportunity to adjust to the new consciousness, the age of Aquarius. Because, you know, we can be either on the ascending or the descending, right? And how we can decipher from ascending to disascending is how we are feeling, how we are seeing ourselves, because it's only us. Only I can change my reality. Only you can change your reality. And it bubbles down to, what are your limited beliefs? How are your family dynamics? Where do you cast judgment? And you would rather project judgment than to see yourself. The victim is gone. That's why, you know, a lot of people are starting to catch themselves in it. It won't manifest in your favor, and it's going to be harder to keep that persona up, because you're just going to see the circling of your actions. We are at our energetic war. This has been going on for many, 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 many moons. Source is real. And your soul is so worth the knowing. Much love.